first. For example, this is the VPC, right? We can give any name. I'm going to give prod VPC, and the CADR value is 10.0.0.0/24 I'm giving. You can give any network range. And in the same VPC, you have to select one availability zone and create subnet. Here I'm going to create the two subnets. Okay. For the Mumbai region, this is the AP South 1A. This is the one region. And the CADR value will be 10.0.0.0/25. You can give any IP address. I will explain how to calculate these values. Okay. And I am going to one more region, and I will take the one more availability zone. Okay. And I'm going to calculate this value. I will explain how this value is calculated. Okay. So I will name this subnet as prod public subnet. You can give any name. For the subnets, I am going to give prod private subnet. Okay, this is how I am going to create the VPC and two subnets. Let me show you the practically, then you can get the idea. So let me go to VPC first. So go to your VPC and click on create VPC. So here you can see two options, VPC only and VPC and more. So if you want to create VPC with the subnets, then you can go with the VPC more. Now I'm going to show you separately. That's why I'm selected VPC only. So as per our discussion, I'm going to create the prod VPC. This is the name I'm going to give the VPC name. And the default, so keep the default IPv4 CADR block. Let it be, don't change anything. So here we already discussed, I'm going to give the this cidr value. So the same value I'm going to give /24. Okay, and I'm not going to change any IPv6 CIDRL as well, and let it be. And so tenants also I'm going to keep the default value, and tags, you can give any tags for this one. Here I'm going to give my own tag. As per your project requirement, you can give as many tag keys. And after that, you can just click on create VPC. Okay, now the VPC is created. This is the VPC ID. Okay, and this is the VPC name. Once you create the VPC, just enable the edit VPC settings and scroll down, enable DNS host name. That's it. Your VPC is now ready. This is the prod VPC you have created. Okay. Now let me show you how to calculate this CIDR value. How many IP addresses we can get. For example, the CIDR value is this one /24. To calculate the total number of hosts, there is a formula called 2 to the power of a number of total bits minus number of network bits. Okay, each each IP address divided into four parts. Each part is calculated. Each part is called as octet, and each octet have 8 bits, right? That's why this IP address have four parts. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 equal to total 32 bits. Okay, as per the formula, number of hosts equals to 2 to the power of 32 minus 24. Okay, that means 2 to the power of total value 8 plus 4, 10 to the power of the value we have to calculate 32 minus 24. What is that value? 32 minus 24 equal to 8. 2 to the power of 8. Okay. So if you want to calculate 2 to the power of 8 value, I am going to use Google calculator. 2 to the power of 8 value. So total number of hosts equal to 256. Okay. In this VPC, I am able to host 256 hosts. Okay. Now I'm going to create the subnets. In the same your VPC dashboard, just go to the subnet section. In the left right hand side, you can see create option. Just click on it and select the VPC first. So where do you want to host subnets? From that VPC you have to select. So here I am going to select my VPC, prod VPC. In this VPC I am going to host my subnets. Okay. First subnets, prod. This is the name I want to give, prod subnet. Yeah, okay, I can give any name. And so here there is an option called availability zone. You can select any availability zone for fault tolerance. So this is the VPC cidr. What is the value we have given at the time of VPC? This is the VPC cidr value. Okay, and we have to give the subnet cidr value as well. So this is the cidr value I'm going to give. For that I'm going to give 10.0/0 by 25. Okay, so here you can see it is going to this cidr value going to give 128 IP address. I will show you how to calculate this one as well. Okay, after that once you enter the IPv4 subnet cidr value, just scroll down. If you want to give the tag, you can give it, or else you can click on create subnet button. So now you are successfully created the subnet. So I will show you some of the properties for the subnets. Just select the subnets and go to actions, edit subnets. There is a one option called auto assign public IP4 address. This means that this option will allow you to select IP public IP when you create an EC2 instance. Suppose if you launch any EC2 instance in this subnet, that option going to allocate one public IP. Okay, so it is going to allocate one public IP address. If you not select this option, the EC2 machine won't get the public IP address. Okay, that's why I selected enable auto assign public IPv4 address. Okay, You can keep the default values as well and click on save. Okay, if you see this, this is the VPC cidr value, and you can see 123 IP addresses only it is allocated. So this is the availability zone. Okay, let me go through my paint once again. I will show you calculation of this VPC cidr value. Subnet cidr calculation. Okay, this is the value I have taken 10.0.0.0/25. As we know that total number of hosts equal to 2 to the power of number of bits minus number of network bits. Okay, 2 to the power of 32 minus 25. Okay, so that means 2 to the power of 7. So now I'm going to calculate the 2 to the power of 7 value. It is going to give 128 hosts. But when you go through our subnet, the available IPv4 addresses is only 123 only. Subnet available IPv4 addresses, okay, is only 123. Why? But as per our calculation, we can see 128, but as per the subnet, we can see only 123. What will happen the remaining 5? I will show you. The first value, first 4 value, the subnet is not going to assign any values. Okay, the first IP address, that is 10.0.0.0. This is network IP, and one more 10.0.0.1. This is AWS router value. So this is AWS is reserved for AWS router. Okay, and one more IP address, that is 0.0.2. This is for DNS server, and one more value 10.0.0.3. This IP address is reserved for future purpose. Okay, if you launch any NAT gateway, if you launch any auto scaling, in that case the subnet assign that IP to that services. Okay, this IP is reserved for future purpose. Okay, and one more last IP address 10.0.0.255. This is the default gateway. Sorry, the default network broadcast. Okay, so that's why we can see only 123 IP addresses only. The first IP address is reserved by the AWS for the network, identify the network, and the second IP address is reserved by the AWS for the AWS VPC router, and the third IP address is going to assign by the DNS VPC DNS server, and this is the future purpose, and the last one is network broadcast. That's why we can see 123 IP addresses only. Okay, so in this case, so we can already know that 128, right? 128. This value would be 128. Let me go through this. Suppose this 10 dot the first cidr value going to give 128 as we know that. So first value start from 10.0.0.0 up to 10.0.0.127. Okay, that's why the second subnet value we started 128. Okay, 10.0.0./128 from 128 to 10.0.0.255. Total 128 IPv4 addresses are allocated. This is how you are going to calculate IP address CADR value. Okay, let me create one more subnets. So if you click on subnets, click on create subnets, and in the same VPC, I'm going to create prod private subnet. Availability zone, initially we have selected 1A, now I'm going to select 1B. Now the VPC CADR value would be 10.0.0.128/25. The same VPC CADR I'm entering 128.25. Okay. See, when you enter the CADR value, the AWS is automatically calculate the total number of IPs. Okay. Now create subnet. Then in the same way, you have to select the edit subnet settings and enable auto assign IPv4 address. Just click on save. So let me. So when you create a subnets in the same region, AWS will automatically communicate between these two. That is going to create the communication between the two subnets automatically. No need to create any communication between these two subnets. If you launch two missions in this first subnet and second subnet, these two VMs will automatically communicate because AWS is going to create this communication. Okay, no need to do anything extra configuration for these subnets because within the same availability zone, these two subnets can communicate. AWS is going to configure this communication. Okay, this is how you are going to create the subnets. Okay, okay, thank you for watching. Hope this video is suitable. Thank you.